What's up, YouTube? You checking out the Frequent Flyer, and this is my review of the Syma X11 Hornet. And first off, I just want to say that this is an excellent piece of great engineering by Syma. In the build of this thing, I mean, they really nailed it, I think, as far as changing the game and doing something different. This thing actually has geared motors. It's actually geared, and even though they've done this before, they haven't done it this way. They never did it with this design. I think this is awesome. It's more so the same design as the Syma X5C. So this thing has geared props, and this is not the first time we've seen it in this size quad, because they did it before with the Syma X4, I believe it was. But just for a size comparison, check out, this is the Eachine CG022. So it's the same size, basically. It's in the same category as the other micro quads, but just check out the propellers. Check out the props on them, the prop sizes. Well, the prop guards are getting in the way a little, but you can see the props on this Syma X11. They're larger than the average, excuse me, they're larger than the average micro quads props. So this thing does get a lot of lift from that, and most of all, it's more efficient. This thing only comes with a little, let me show you the battery. This is the battery that comes with this thing. It's a tiny 200 milliamp hour battery that comes with this thing. And guess what? It gets 5 minutes and 30 something seconds of flight time with that little tiny battery with this size micro quad. So I think that's saying a lot for its efficiency. This thing is very efficient. It also has there's a little foam stopping in there inside the hull of the battery bay that stops you from actually inserting other size batteries, but it can be easily removed with a simple mod. And you can get, I've fitted a 500 milliamp hour in here and have gotten an amazing 10 minutes and, what was it, 10 minutes and 40 something odd seconds with this thing of flight time. So really efficient with its flight. This thing is really stable. It flips really well. It flips well with the prop guards on. The prop guard does come off, and there's no screws or anything. They sort of just snap on through these little holes that you insert it into. You can see there. So the prop guards do work as well, but this thing is a really steady flyer. It's stable. Only thing, in Syma's quads, they really don't give you a lot of pitch and yaw on the high rates. That's one thing that I really don't like about the Syma micros, that I think they need to work on improving. The yaw rate on this is just a tad bit too slow, as well as the pitch rates on this. On high rates, the pitch is maybe about 60. I think it would be nice if they at least gave you about an 80% pitch rate, but you can bank turns with it and do funnels, but they're going to be wider funnels and wider bank turns. You're going to probably have trouble flying this thing fast in a small area because you can't bank, you can't do tight banking turns with it. But otherwise, this thing flies great. It has LEDs. The LED implementation is pretty nice. They got it right. They have blue in the front and red in the black. I'm sorry, red in the back. So I really don't like when they swap it around. Sometimes a lot of quads, a lot of companies, they're putting red in the front and blue in the back or something like that. But I think red belongs in the back, and blue belongs in the front. This thing here in the front, it looks like it can be a light or a camera, but this thing does nothing. It's just maybe, I think they do have a camera version of this quad coming out soon. because I read something about it in the manual. However, this thing is just for show. It does nothing. It's not even a light. What else? This is the transmitter here. The transmitter is the same transmitter that we got with the Syma X2 and the Syma X12. However, this isn't on the same protocol as the Syma X2. It's on the same protocol as the Syma X12. The X12 is the little tiny one. So this will bind with that transmitter, but not the X2. So I think that's all there is to say about it. This thing does have an LVC warning, but the LVC warning doesn't give you much time to fly back to yourself. You only get like 5 seconds or something like that, and then it'll land. It does come in 3 other colors. As you can see, it comes in red, it comes in black, and it comes in white. And it comes with a nice instructions manual. It's fully legible. It's in English. The English is well written. Also, it comes with this USB charging cable, and it comes with a set of spare props. That's another thing. I'm worried about the props. I removed the blade guards, and I crashed it. I think twice I crashed it, and both times I crashed it, these props became damaged, and I had to use some of the spares that I have. So I'm really concerned about that, about the props being easy to break, and I'm more so worried about being able to get replacements once the other ones, the spare props, run out. So I've been trying to fly with the prop guard on it. It's been flying well with the prop guard on it. So and also the testing that I did, where I got 10 minutes and 40 seconds with the 500 milliamp hour battery, I had the prop guard on it. So I'm guessing you probably get a little more time with the prop guards off it. So that's it that I have to say about it. So let's check it out in flight. Okay, so this is the indoor flight footage of the new Syma X11 Hornet, and it's already bound to the stock transmitter. So as you can see, this thing is really stable. We're on low rates now. This is the yaw rate, and this is the pitch on low rates. You can see it's really touchy. At full battery, the throttle is really touchy. So let's try a flip. So it flips nice, even with the blade guard on. Try a side flip. Try that again. That's a side flip. Okay, now we're on high rates. This is the yaw rate on high rates. So the yaw doesn't change much. So, and it's a little slow. I think Syma should have given us at least a little more speed on the yaw on high rates, and also a little more pitch. I don't like that Syma. It seems like their high rates are like 60% pitch. So it's barely enough for you to do a frontal, and you can do bank turns, but they're sort of wide. The bank turns you have to do with it because the yaw rate is so slow, and the pitch rate isn't really high. If it was maybe a 80% pitch, then I can do with this slower yaw rate, because it'll compensate and allow you to do nice bank turns and funnels tighter with it. It's a little noisy, not too noisy. You can't toggle the lights on and off. But the lights are well done. I think they're implemented pretty well. You know, with the blue in the front and the red in the back. And it's a really stable flying quad. You can fly nice circuits with it. And I think it's really nice that it has geared props. I applaud Syma for switching it up and changing the game with this, with having a quad this size with geared props, geared motors. They've done it before, but I like the way they implemented it on this Hornet here. It seems a little better, and it's also very efficient. This thing only comes with a 200 milliamp hour battery, and when I timed it, it flew. I was flying it around continuously with no flips though, for 5 minutes and like 30 something seconds. So I think that's pretty good for a quad this size with a 200 milliamp hour battery. So yeah, it's a nice flying quad. It does have an LVC warning. The LVC warning gives you about only 5 seconds to get it back to yourself. They should have made the LVC warning last a little longer or come on earlier. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with this quad. It flies well with the blade guards on it. So I'm not really going to fly it until the LVC warning kicks in. So that's it, the Syma X11 Hornet. Thanks for watching.